back to Speak for Yourself. Let's talk about Tom Brady, who has adjusted just fine in Tampa. He rushed for a touchdown and threw for 4 more in the win against the Raiders. Brady also set the all-time record for passing touchdowns. His TDs went to 4 different receivers, and now he's about to get a 7-time Pro Bowler with the Bucs signing Antonio Brown. The rich get richer. So, Big Bro Sell, you let me know this. Can Tom Brady's Buccaneers be stopped?
Literally, yes, any team could be stopped, but this team has entered that rare space, and let's talk about that space where they can only stop themselves. And I like that about this team. I told you before, this whole offseason, whatever I've been saying, I am on the pirate ship. I am with the Buccaneers. And what have you been saying? It's not going to work out. You got your old man over there at the goat. It's not going to play well. Acho, if you look at this team right now with no continuity, think about it. They're all learning on the fly collectively. Tom Brady is in a new system, new situation, new location, new team, and playing like the old Tom Brady. I love this. So let me hit you with some of my Buccaneer shots, nuggets. Buck shots, you ready for this? In the past 5 games, he has 15 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Buck! Go Tom Brady. Let's talk about the Bucs, second in the league in scoring margin. Only to the Baltimore Ravens. Let's talk about tied for 4th in the league in turnover margin. Averaging the most that they ever have in their franchise history. 3rd best total defense, best run defense, 2nd in sacks. Acho, I don't understand it. You were on the wrong side of the fence for so long. Let's see if you're finally going to show some contrition and look me in the face, apologize, and then go forward finally on the pirate ship like me.
Sir, I will not apologize for assessing the information that is given to me at the time that it is given to me. Now,
you hiding.
Now that I got more information, I'm going to say this. I'm riding with you. I think the Bucs can be stopped, but it would be them stopping themselves. As I look at it, Bucs are doing this. Other teams in the NFL are sputtering. The Bucs are doing this. They're hitting their ceiling. Now, before we jump on this Buccaneers bandwagon, let's put things in perspective like we do with other quarterbacks and not have Tom Brady bias. Tom Brady against the 2 top defenses he's played, top 10 defenses, Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears. He has 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Tom Brady against the other 5 teams, 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Let's put it in perspective, because later on in this segment, I'm going to clown Baker Mayfield for only beating the Bengals and not beating anybody else. So I also got to keep it a buck. Tom Brady, he's whooping everybody else. But when he sees top 10 defenses, what does he do? Now, the fact of the matter is, not everybody in the NFL is a top 10 defense. So he's having his way with everybody else. Tom Brady is on a tear right now. He's literally on a tear. Let's look at the year of the GOAT, because he's won 3 MVPs, and I want to show y'all how his MVP seasons stack up to this season. Through 7 games, his MVP season's on average 282 yards a game. This season, 273. MVP season on average through 7 games, 18 touchdowns. This season, 18 touchdowns, and you can see the passer rating there below. Tom Brady's killing it, but more importantly, the Bucs defense is killing it. Can they be stopped? I truly think that it would have to be them stopping themselves for the most part as it stands right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the Patriots way that Tom Brady has now taken with him. And in this transition, he's realized, I have to protect the football. I have to hold up my end of the bargain. And then I have to look at our defense. And our defense, you have to go out there and be stout. And that's what's happening right now. Imagine going to a new situation where expectations are absurd just because you have now relocated to the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Tampa Bay Bucs, which has the worst win percentage in sports history, now is a favorite to win the Super Bowl. You certainly have to put them on tier 1 in terms of consideration. We know the Chiefs are right there as well. You talk about Green Bay Packers. Yeah, you were saying that until you saw that loss that they took to this same team. Pittsburgh Steelers undefeated. You can imagine how that contest will look. But this is a team now, right now, halfway through the season, Nacho, that they look like they're figuring it out while they know that they haven't figured it out. So when they're still drawing it up and it's being processed and it's being realized and it's being executed at this rate, imagine at the end of the season when it's money time how they're going to perform.
Let's talk about then, Marcellus, the 2 ways, to me, the 2 biggest ways the Buccaneers can be stopped. Number 1, the addition of Antonio Brown.
Oh, don't do that.
No. Right now, they're rolling right now. So the only thing I think is...
roll more?
You can,
Oh, okay.
but let's talk about, that's the risk. The only way I'm saying is that's a risk. It's not a huge risk to me at this point because I think Tom Brady has our locker room in check, but that is one of the risks. The big risk to me is Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians hasn't been in this position before. Tom Brady clearly has. So when I think about Bruce Arians, he runs a very loose, fun, say what you mean, emotions on your sleeve type of organization. B.A. hasn't made it to the Super Bowl as a head coach, to my knowledge. I think the furthest he's gotten, NFC Championship game with the Cardinals when my brother was there, I think against the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if Bruce Arians is going to be ready for the bright lights, ready for the big moment. If there's anything that's going to stop this Buccaneers team, and I don't think there's a lot of things that can do it, if there's anything that's going to stop them, it would be a culture chemistry issue if Antonio Brown comes in and somehow messes with that. It would be Bruce Arians. Is Bruce Arians ready for the moment? And lastly, Tom Brady's never made the Super Bowl without a bye. Tom Brady balls against not top 10 defenses. When you get into the playoffs, there are going to be top 10 defenses looking you straight in the eye, Tom Brady. If you don't have that bye, you're going to have to win a game. Then you'll have to go to the wild card. You're going to have to win the first game. You're going to have to win a divisional game. You're going to have to win a championship game. Then you're going to have to get to the Super Bowl. You're going to see several top 10 defenses in those games. Can you do it against them?
Well, the difference in that example and using, obviously, the resume that he compiled as a New England Patriot in today's team, this team has more firepower. Like, just be real. Like, defense to defense, you may even say comparable there. Maybe Tampa's right there with them. But offensively, you're starting to look and you say, in general, this is more than he's had when he was the New England Patriot quarterback. So that may take you down a different path in terms of bring it on instead of like, okay, let's have that bye so we can have some cushion, some protection. I like Bruce Arians, two-time coach of the year, that you don't always have to be in that moment to realize to be ready for that moment, right? Like, there's a first time for everyone. And some guys in their first opportunities, they hit it. Tom Brady in his first opportunity. Remember, Drew Bledsoe was a $100 million quarterback. Gets knocked out, Tom Brady enters, and they're like, oh, what? Is he actually good? Oh, is he serviceable? Oh, is he allowing this team to succeed? Oh, they're winning. Oh, they just won a Super Bowl. First appearance. So the thing is, I'm not going to always grade someone since they haven't been there that they can't do it.
Do you like Bruce Arians to be able to lead this team to a Super Bowl? I think there's one thing, Marcellus, when you're winning, everything is fun. Everybody's having a good time. We haven't heard Bruce Arians call out Tom Brady in 3 or so weeks now because they have been winning.
They ball.
But remember, early on in the season, Tom Brady can't throw these picks. Tom Brady's fault on the 2 interceptions. Do you like Bruce Arians to be able to win this team a Super Bowl?
I do. You know why? Because they have a good cop, bad cop relationship that's already set up for success. And anybody that's going into any business practice knows you need to have that dynamic because you don't always want to be the guy that goes in there guns blazing and then have to return with some apple pie saying, how's everyone doing? And that's what they have right here. Let's look at this situation. Bruce Arians, two-time coach of the year. Bruce Arians, the same offensive coordinator that was on the Steelers staff that won the Super Bowl. So he's been there. The man next to the man in that respect. But let's talk about how AB, you think it's an AB issue potentially. I look at it where Tom Brady wanted AB. Bruce Arians said, hell no, not on my watch. And they came to a healthy compromise. But when AB shows up in that locker room, he's going to know he's going to be embraced by his leader, but also he's going to be side-eyed by their head coach. That's going to keep him in line because he doesn't have everyone's support in terms of him being on the squad. Coming up in our big story, the Cowboys are blown out and are being called out. Woo, we'll tell you if they've quit on Mike McCarthy next. Speak for yourself.